My name is James Stallnaker, and I've worked in healthcare for over 16 years. The last six have been a nurse executive leader. And there is one thing that I want to strip down to truth. That truth is trust. Trust is not a feeling, trust is not a buzzword. Trust is not built in meetings, mission statements, or leadership books. Trust is a biological contract between human beings. And most people in leadership positions are violating it every single day. You know, trust is the decision someone makes when they choose to become vulnerable in your presence, when they speak up instead of staying silent, when they act without fear of being punished, dismissed, or even exposed, when they believe, even for a second, that you will not use their honesty against them. That's it. You want to know what trust really is? It's risk. And every time someone trusts you, they are taking one. Now, here's where the system gets exposed. Organizations scream about culture, engagement, and teamwork, but they ignore the one thing that actually determines whether any of that exists. Trust is the foundation of every human connection, period. It's not skill, it's not intelligence, it's not experience, and it's damn sure not your credentials. Without trust, communication is filtered. Without trust, feedback is fake. Without trust, compliance replaces commitment. And without trust, people do not lead, they perform. And performance is a mask. Let's go a little deeper. When trust is absent, the human brain shifts into protection mode. People stop thinking creatively. They stop taking initiative. They stop telling the truth because survival becomes the priority. You do not get innovation in fear. You do not get loyalty in manipulation. You do not get excellence in environments where people are calculating every word they say just to stay safe. You get silence. You get burnout. You get disengagement dressed up as professionalism. And here is the hardest truth leaders need to hear. You do not get to demand trust. You earn it or you destroy it. Every inconsistency, every broken promise, every moment, you say one thing and do another. You are withdrawn from an account you have probably never invested in. And people notice. They always notice. Real leaders do not talk about trust, they build it in the moments that no one claps for. When they choose transparency over control, when they own mistakes without deflection, when they protect their people instead of protecting optics, when they listen without preparing a response, when they tell the truth, even when it costs them authority, comfort, or even approval. Because trust is not built in power, it's built in accountability. Let's make this personal. If the people around you are quiet, if they hesitate before speaking, if they only bring you safe information, If they agree with you too quickly, that is not respect. That is a lack of trust. And if you do not have trust, you do not have a team. You have a controlled environment of compliance. Now, here's where it flips. When trust is present, everything changes. People move faster. They speak honestly. They challenge ideas without fear. They take ownership without being forced. They operate with clarity, not confusion, because they know one thing: they are safe to be real. And when humans are safe to be real, they become powerful. This is the connection most people miss. Trust is not soft. Trust is not optional. Trust is the strongest force multiplier in human systems. It determines whether people will follow you when it's hard, whether they will stand with you when it's risky, and whether they will give you their best or just enough to survive. So if you call yourself a leader, I want you to understand this. Your title does not build trust. Your authority does not build trust. And your intentions do not build trust. Your consistency does. Your integrity does. Your courage does. Every single day. And if you are not building trust, you are eroding it. There is no neutral. So the question isn't whether trust matters. The question is, are you someone people can risk being real with, or someone they can have to protect themselves from? Because that answer defines everything.